Well, hello, free people of the Rocky Mountain region. This is Brandon from Free State, Colorado, and I hope you're doing well. Now, if you've been paying attention to our state legislature this year, you know that these politicians are making our lives more expensive, making it harder for businesses to operate, supporting their special interest allies at the expense of taxpayers, infringing on our right to self defense. And these politicians in the majority down in Denver have no interest in protecting families, protecting kids, or protecting our Colorado way of life. But we have another election coming up. And I know there's a lot of people motivated, a lot of people interested in getting involved here in 2026. Now, don't get me wrong, we just had the 2024 election. I know people are still a little burnt out from that, but it's not too early to start planning ahead to getting prepared and focusing on some of the key races and campaigns in 2026. Right now is the time to recruit candidates, maybe to for yourself if you're interested in running, start building up community support, raising money, and putting in the work to become a viable candidate come 2026. So, I wanted to give you some information here about what I think are some of the priorities dealing with our state legislature. Let's take a look here at Ballotpedia. Now, Ballotpedia is a great resource for people out there to see what's happening at our state government in terms of who's in charge, who's serving in what seat, and so on. So, looking at our state senate, that's what I want to focus on today is the state senate. Currently in Colorado, there are 22 Democrats to 12 Republicans. There are 35 seats in our state senate. The one vacancy is Sonia Jaquez. She resigned in disgrace after mistreating some of her legislative aides and then fabricated a letter in support of herself and then resigned. Absolutely ridiculous. One of the interesting stories from this year. But nonetheless, you can see the little chart here. Since 1992, it's really been only in recent years, since 2018, that Democrats have had this majority. Of course, there's that big stretch there from '04 to 12. But right now, this is one of the best chances to fight back against these authoritarian people in our state government who are trying to take away our right to self defense. I know that's a major issue, among others. So 23 to 12, 23 to 12. So, there's 35 seats. That means 18 seats are the majority. So Republicans have a big battle, a big uphill climb to pick up 6 seats in the state legislature and the state senate come 2026. But I want to focus on some of the top three. So I wrote this article back at the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, because these state senators serve 4-year terms. So the senators who were elected in 2022 are up for reelection in 2026. Now, there's definitely three of them that were the tightest seats back in 2022. I would say they're probably still the best opportunities. Flipping 3 seats could be huge. Like I said, Republicans need to flip 6 seats to gain that majority. But hey, let's just talk about these three that should be low hanging fruit, should be a massive priority for people who believe in liberty and freedom here in Colorado. So, taking a look here, there's Senate District 3. Senate District 3 is down in Pueblo County. You can see the map here. And this is on my website at freestatecolorado.com. I will have links there. But interestingly enough, Pueblo County also flipped for Trump, voted for Trump here in 2024. So there's pretty good opportunity there if you have a good Republican candidate who's willing to put in the work and has good support behind him. But really, it's down there. You can see right now it's Democrat Nick Henriksen. He won with 33,795 votes to Republican Stephen Varla at 32,000. So only 1,705 votes. 1,705 votes was the difference. Very close, very competitive for sure. There's a lot of opportunity there. Looking at the spending here, Henriksen's campaign spent 169,000 and Varela's campaign spent 138,000. It's a pretty big jump, $30,000 in campaign spending. And then, of course, there's all this outside groups. It's hard to track all of it. I don't know where all of the money came from, but some of what I saw on Tracer, the Colorado Secretary of State's website, showed that Centennial State Prosperity Action spent 370,000 among all their candidates. Henriksen was one of them. Altogether, Colorado spent $11 million. Some of that money was on Henriksen, obviously not all of it. Colorado Values Project, Colorado's Creating Opportunity, another $2 million there. So big money for sure. On the Republican side, Verla, Unite for Colorado Action, 4 million, split between all of their candidates. Senate Majority Fund, $461,000 spent on that campaign, $8 million total with all of their candidates. So you see there's a lot of money there. There's going to be a lot of money in 26, of course. There's a lot of races to pay attention to. But if you are down in Pueblo, if you're down in southern Colorado, this should be a priority. Finding a good candidate to run against Nick Henriksen, get him out of there. He's an authoritarian. He is no good, pro-crime, anti-freedom. Get him out of there. So that's Senate District 3 down in Pueblo, definitely one of the big priorities. So all of you Southern Colorado people watching, definitely start focusing on that race. That is a prerogative. Now in Colorado Springs, we have Senate District 11. That's Democrat Tony Exum's seat, Republican Dennis Hizzy, and then there was a Libertarian in that race as well. So Exum only won by 2,216 votes. So still pretty close. Still pretty close when you think of it that way. There is a good opportunity there in 2026. Now, El Paso does not have as strong of a Republican majority as they used to. Colorado Springs is changing, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done there. I won't go into all of the spending here, but you can definitely take a look if you're interested. But really, this is a huge priority down in Colorado Springs. Senate District 11, get involved. The El Paso Republican Party really needs to step it up, get organized, and protect their county because their county is definitely one of the biggest threats, our biggest areas of opportunity for the Democrats to really take over. And the Republicans down there should feel very threatened by Democratic efforts to keep this seat and expand their majority. So Senate District 11. Then up in my neck of the woods in northern Colorado, we have Senate District 15. So Democrat Janice Marchman, she won with only 1,014 vote differential there. That margin of victory, 1,000 votes against Republican Rob Woodward, who had 42,000 votes in 2022. I mean, that is a razor thin margin when you really think about it. 1,000 votes. That's all it came down to. So huge opportunity there. Marshman's campaign, 190,000. Woodward's campaign spent 276, so he outspent her campaign-wise. But of course, look at all this money that flew into this district. The Boulder County Democratic Party, Planned Parenthood, Progressive Voters, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. So big money spent. This is going to be one of the hardest fought seats coming up here. But you can look at the map. So this is just west of Fort Collins, kind of northwest of Boulder and up. So it's a tough one, don't get me wrong. But the fact that Rob Woodward only lost with 1,000 votes 4 years ago, and things have changed in the last 4 years, I think Senate District 15 is a massive opportunity. So really, this is kind of my call to action to people out there. If you are in northern Colorado and want to get involved in the Senate District 15 fight, please let me know. If you're in Colorado Springs, find some people to get involved with down there in Colorado Springs in El Paso County and flip that seat. And then if you're in southern Colorado near Pueblo, really Senate District 3. So I mean there's three huge opportunities there, folks, whether you're in northern Colorado or southern Colorado to get involved. Now, that's not the whole story, of course. There's some Republican strongholds, Democratic strongholds, not a lot of opportunity to flip all of these seats, but I think these three are the relatively low-hanging fruit. They're going to be hard fought. Now, of course, Republicans really want to pick up 6 seats in 2026, but nonetheless, hey, flip 3 and you can see some huge improvement there. Now, I wanted to point this out too. I do have this spreadsheet here. If anybody's interested, I could share it with you. But you can actually see here's the 2022 election results from the state Senate. So you can see that some of these Republican seats, they won by a lot of numbers there, 10, 20,000 votes. Here's those 3 or Democrat seats that I think Republicans could flip in 26. The next 3 most likely, based on vote totals from 2022, would be Senate District 24, 30, and 27. Now that's a steep hill to climb. You got to flip 7,000 votes, but nonetheless, it's doable. But these are really the top 6 seats that are up here in 2026 to flip the state Senate. Focusing on at least those 3, I think, can make a huge dent. I'd love to see people do more than that, but hey, let's start somewhere. And I just want to point this out. I have this image I made pinned to the top of my X profile here. But Janice Marshman was the only one of these three senators we just talked about to vote for the worst gun bill in Colorado history. So, I mean, she won with the slimmest of margins. There's some talk that she might be replaced, that there might be somebody else put in place before the 26th election, because she's not wildly popular from what I'm hearing. But nonetheless, Janice Marshman, the top target for 2026 in the state Senate, voted for the worst gun control bill in Colorado history. So just wanted to point that out to you. But folks, I'll talk about the state house in a different video, but really state Senate, Senate District 15, Senate District 3, Senate District 11, high priorities there. And then, yeah, if people can get involved in 24, 30, and 27, good opportunities there. But get involved, get organized, and let's fight for our liberty, fight for our freedom, folks. So thank you very much. We'll talk to you again later.